G'day everybody, welcome back to our playthrough of Valheim on episode 199. Wow. Almost 200 episodes. I know we're very excited about the prospects of finding more black cores, but I think we should settle down a little bit. And, you know, focus on making our little Mistlands farm. I don't think we're going to make like a massive farm in the Mistlands. We have already been obviously setting things up, you know, making sure that we've set up the portal in the right area. We've gathered a few stones. We're probably going to need to, you know, gather more stones sometime very soon. Not a problem, we'll do that. But yeah, I just want to make sure that we get to building up this base as soon as we can. That way we can grow those mage caps and those Jotun puffs as frequently as we would like. So I'm just going to see if there's some more wood that we can potentially source here. I don't think we do actually have a lot of wood. I was sort of thinking perhaps maybe the structure that we want to build out there should be a mix of stone and wood. That way, you know, one, it looks a little bit nicer, but also, two, we don't have to use as many stones. So yeah, let's see if we can just source a little bit of extra wood just to complement the materials that we've already got out there. And that'll be the start of this episode, and I'm not entirely sure if we're going to really be doing anything else this episode aside from maybe focusing on the build. Maybe. I mean, we do have the mine that we've already found, and, you know, I could easily go in and try and look for more black cores. I'm not in a rush though. We've already gotten some decent upgrades from the previous episode. In fact, we have our beautiful Mistlands sword here, or it's called Mistwalker if I'm not mistaken. So yes, I'm looking forward to using Mistwalker a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, we're still going to equip ourselves as much as possible with new stuff. And I'm definitely looking at trying to get myself an AoE type weapon. A lot of people have been suggesting that I either get the Adagear or maybe play around with some kind of a sledgehammer. I did see the sledgehammer as an option, and I don't know, guys. I'm sort of thinking, what about the two-handed sword? Because that sounds badass, you know, but I don't know if it does any AoE attacks. Possibly. Look, I think at the very least I could just get it for funsies. It might be a little bit expensive though. But yeah, maybe I should do it after we get like a sledgehammer or something along those lines. I have seen an Adagear, and we've seen what the secondary attack of an Adagear is like. And I mean, I have seen, you know, a sledgehammer before as well. I think earlier on in the playthrough, we managed to make ourselves a sledgehammer, and yeah, that was pretty cool. I think this maybe had broken down because of our refining. Oops, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to repair it, but anyway, that's fine. We can fix it all up. There we go. Yeah, there must be some wood over there in the balcony. Actually, quickly grab that. And how are we doing here? Maybe I can drop in a few more pieces of wood. Might not be a bad idea just to keep this going. And yeah, we've got a stack of wood now. Likely it's not enough, so I might just keep going with breaking down some more trees here before we go. I'm just looking at the condition of our food. I think we're probably going to need to bring a batch of food before we go out there. That way we don't have to quickly turn back again to eat. I don't know what's an appropriate amount, but maybe 2 stacks of wood might not be bad to begin with, and you know, if we don't need all of it, that's okay. Yeah, okay, that's exactly 2 stacks, so I think we're ready. I'm just gonna grab some food and then we'll be on our way. I'm gonna start keeping a few more leather scraps now, because you never know, we might need all of those leather scraps for, you know, making the bombs and stuff. We have been making bombs recently. Let's split this to 10. Got a few wisps we can use to clear up the way. I'll probably pop the wisp out right now as well. Okay, food. Let's grab 1 omelet, and we'll do meat platter, and I'm not really going to be out and about exploring, so I don't think we'll be encountering tough enemies, so I'm sort of downgrading a little bit, and we'll eat some lox pies. I could even go down to using bread. Maybe that's not a bad idea. But we are running low on the lox meat though, so we might need to go to the plains and see if we can, you know, take out a few more loxes. We might also want to hang around there and maybe deal with the farm. It's been a while, and that should give us a chance to hopefully tame the lox that's nearby. Again, that's been a very, very long slog, hasn't it? I know that I should really be sticking around the area to make it happen, but I don't know, there's just too much other stuff happening that I don't really want to just hang around there for the sake of taming it. Okay, so let me start by just clearing up the area a little bit more. And then that way we can stop using the wisp and hopefully use Megan Jord instead. I was reading some comments about the roots and the sap that's available from the roots. And some people were saying that the sap actually does recharge after a while. So that's really good to know. It means that provided that we sort of work with a few roots in the area, we should be able to sort of perpetually replenish our sap if we need it. So I do actually need the hoe, and I can't recall where I've kept the hoe now, because I did sort of put it away at some point because we wanted to carry bombs. Yeah, here we go. Right. So I think the first thing that I want to do is try and flatten the soil a little bit more. And once we've achieved sort of a good area that we could work with to build the home, I think that's what we'll do. I also have to consider how much farm space that I want. So yeah, let me grab that, and I might just shift it over this side. the terrain is actually a little bit tricky here, but if we just flatten everything, I think we should be okay. Let's not take any risks here. We'll eat the stuff that we need to eat. Alright, I think we're kind of ready. I'm thinking of maybe just flattening this area out, so this is maybe a good start. Is this stone? It could possibly be stone, and if it is, that's good because we sort of need all of that anyway. Plus we did have the issue in the plains where we had sort of stone possibly buried, most likely buried, in some of the farming area that we've made. So, yeah, I'm thinking trying to get rid of the stone here is probably a good idea. Okay, so this is probably not a bad spot for at least the home. I think we're also going to just get rid of this entire hill right here. Don't forget, we do need to wall off the entire base as well, because the things lurking around here are definitely not welcome and very tough to deal with as well. So I'm sort of not interested in keeping the farm open. Okay, I was not expecting the soil to actually change color. Is that going to be a problem with the farming, I wonder? I hear something. It might be getting closer. Sounds like it's, it could be like a soldier or something like that. Anyway. Don't need to worry about it until it gets very close, obviously. Yeah, I don't know really if I've chosen a good spot or not. This possibly could be a very, very awkward spot. I just thought when we passed through this area the first time, it was like, pretty nice because I saw quite a few roots in the area, you know? And my initial assumption was also that the roots would deplete and, you know, they wouldn't regain any of the sap, but I was wrong. But that's okay. I'm okay just making the decision on you know, making this our base. And I don't really think that we'll be making another base anytime soon in the Mistlands. Okay, looks good. Let's just again try and flatten stuff. So I wonder why the soil changes color. That I'm not a big fan of at all, to be honest. But I'm not really going to be too pedantic about making sure that all the soil is the same color, though. I'm just going to leave it. Also, I'm not entirely sure if I mentioned this already, but I don't foresee this being a very big farm at all. In fact, it could be a bit smaller compared to the Mistlands farm that we have, potentially. It really comes down to how many Jotun puffs we can actually get, and mage caps, obviously. From a single batch. I assume, judging by what we've seen with what we're able to acquire while we're sort of exploring, it should be enough to be able to get a few Jotun puffs in a single batch and not have to sort of go too crazy on planting and harvesting these plants like we do for the barley. Okay. We could be looking pretty good here. The question is, where do I want to have the house? And also, this dip is something that I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, I think making a decision of where the house is going to be first is the most important, because we're going to have the wall enclose the house. Yeah, I think maybe right here. So the home will be on this side. The crops will be on this side. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the space that I've carved out here seems to be already the size of what we've got in the plains anyway, so it might end up being pretty big. Just gonna see if I can get rid of all of this. This feels like it needs to be flattened more. Not because I want to use the space, but more so because I'm afraid that enemies may actually be able to climb inside from the areas where we've got a little bit more elevation. It might actually be dark, and if it is, I actually do want to return back home. Not keen on hanging around while it's dark. I feel like all the banging away at the soil is also going to attract some undesirables. So yeah, let's not do that. Right. I could play around with going to the sorry, not the Mistlands, the plains. And I think I'm pretty okay with the idea of being in the plains at night. I'm sort of interested in gathering up some more lox meat if I can. Need a few resins. That would be a bad idea to grab some resins, maybe. Just light up the field a little bit more. Not to mention, I've got so much barley sitting there ready for harvest, and I'm sort of thinking whether or not I want to do anything with the barley that I've got currently, as then we will also have a problem storing all this stuff. I suppose I could bake some bread, potentially. Yeah, why not? Let's drop some bread in. And I'll just quickly grab that resin, come back to the kitchen after that. And if we do get into trouble with fullings and stuff, that's not really going to be too much of an issue. We've got bone mass, we've got better weapons, so I don't think we'll be in trouble at all. Let's just drop these there. I will start by just you know, placing down some cloudberries. I do need to source the cloudberries though. And the Mistwalker is so good. Because it's kind of like Frostner, right? Like, it does actually freeze. It does freeze damage. It's really good. I like it. Let's just drop that. We'll probably release the Wisp as well. I wonder if the Wisp scares the lox though, and whether or not it's advisable to use if we're trying to sneak our way to it. Hey, Odin. I might actually just let go of it. We'll sneak, and yeah, we'll drop a few cloudberries. I am going to then return back and deal with our farm though. I'm just curious about how tame this lox is. 81%. Okay, getting close-ish. One other thing that some people have been mentioning is it might actually be a better idea to drop like berries one by one, because they don't really eat from the stash. Well, I guess they do, but they only eat like one by one. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to help at all. Is clearly very hungry. Yeah, strangely, he is moving around a little bit. Okay. With that out of the way, I'm just gonna quickly run around and gonna go back to the farm. We'll grab the barley that we've currently got. Actually, I don't even have the cultivator on me. Let's quickly grab the cultivator, actually. Oh yes, you know what? I've just been reminded that we do have one more thing that we need to do before we can even begin the construction of the Mistlands base, and that is we do need the stone cutter or stone cutting bench. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to build with stone. So yeah, I do need to go to the bridge, as I mentioned in the previous episode. Sorry. Let's grab all of this. Okay. Let's try and speed through this. I wonder if there's really going to be a need for more flax at some point. At least with barley, you know that you can, you know, use barley for various foods and stuff, but the flax, I don't know if there's going to be any other, like, you know, gear that might need flax. Okay. Oh, and it is morning already. That's fine. Fine. I'm just going to do a quick lox hunt, guys, because I want more lox meat. Simple as that. So can we find any more loxes out here? We're at 5 minutes on stamina though, so that is a tiny bit worrying. I feel like we have seen loxes around this area before. In fact, we do have a few just in front of us. I don't know why it's decided to go into the water. Come on, mate. Haven't got all day. But yeah, if we can just lure it out here, I think we should be okay. Ow. Okay. It's a bit unfortunate that I had to use bone mass there. Let's just hope that we won't actually need bone mass while we are building. Man, I'm not even sure if we'll get to start the building process in this episode, because we still need to find that stonecutter as well. Or find the metal for it anyway. Alright, very good. And that's our friend over there. Don't want to hunt him, obviously. Yeah, I think with our stamina food depleted, I think it's probably a good time for us to go back. One thing that some people have been mentioning in the comments is to maybe get into fishing a little bit more. I do want to do that, actually. I'm not entirely sure how a lot of viewers feel about fishing, because it'll be a very slow episode, but I'm willing to give fishing a bit more of a go, because we haven't done it in a very long time, and I think there is probably some really, really good foods that may be unlocked only once we catch certain types of fish, particularly in the late game areas like the Mistlands. So yeah, I do want to work my way towards that. In essence though, I think some parts of fishing require you to do lower tier fishing first before, you know, attempting to do any of or attempting to catch any of the higher tier fish, because you sort of need to make some of the bait using, you know, mid-tier fish. I think that's how it works. I tried to do a little bit of research on it. But yeah, anyway, we might get into fishing at some point. Obviously not this episode, but we'll see when we get around to doing it. And, you know, obviously you guys have full control over whether or not you watch the episode or not. But yeah, it'll be I'll make it pretty obvious as to whether or not we're focusing completely on fishing. I get the feeling that perhaps the Lox trophy might be used for bait making, but look, I'll just leave it in there for the time being. Food. Yeah, let's just maybe we grab that. I'll also eat some bread right now. Okay, right. Continuing where we left off, so let's slap on the wisp, and I'm just going to figure out where we need to go here. So the bridge should be just over that way, I think. Oh, here it is. Hang on. Is this right? Actually don't have a potion as well. I forgot about the potion. I am so not interested in fighting Yawls right now. No. Okay. Why did I think that we had an accessible bridge? Maybe I'm thinking of this bridge right here. Is there a part of this bridge that is accessible though? If we just follow it along. I don't think so. Alright. Yeah, okay. Let's It's making things even tougher for us. But I think all's not lost. What I might do is I might try to just destroy the base of this bridge, and everything else should just come tumbling down, right? So I assume that includes the metal. So let's do it. We should be able to achieve it without too much of an issue. It will take a while to whale away, but I think it's a better alternative compared to having to run back to... I believe the ship may have some metal, potentially. Ooh, there's a little bit of metal here, potentially as well. I mean, just looking at the patterns there. I mean, this looks extremely unsafe. But judging by what we've seen in the past, I don't think we should be worried. Oh, hang on. There we go. We've got some iron oh, we've got 2 iron already. Man, alright. We don't even need to worry about taking the entire thing down. Although, if we want some more metal out here, that's what we can do. We can literally just grab that. Okay, so crafting. We need 2 iron, some stone, some wood, which we have. We have everything we need. So let's do it. We'll just plop that down there. Oh, we're not rested apparently. So I might quickly go home and just fix that. Grab a rested buff. I should really be going to the bedroom. Try to get a really big buff. You can just stare into the fire for a little bit. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about the Christmas decorations, guys. I mean, I really want to take it down because obviously it's not really Christmas time. But then I think you sort of get like an additional comfort bonus by having it. And yeah, it's like if I get rid of it, I'm basically just squandering that that rested buff or the comfort level. Anyway, where are we? We did say the house is going to be on this side, crop's going to be on this side. Are we even satisfied with the flatness of the soil? I don't know. I might want to bring the table a little bit closer, to be honest. And... okay. I was sort of thinking about building the house first. But... perhaps it's not such a bad thing to also maybe consider where the wall is going to get up to. Yeah, okay. So I might maybe draw an outline of where I want the property boundary to be. If that makes sense. And once we know where the boundary is, we can then figure out, you know, the rest of the elements of the property. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Let me correct all of that. Yeah, okay. Might a bit more. Okay, we continue over this side. And I think we're gonna start circularizing. I wonder if it's late, actually. It's hard to tell because there's a massive storm going on right now. Okay, we do need to eat some more food. Might actually return. Got all this sap to put away as well, so I might just quickly do that. And food-wise, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about what sort of food I need to consume. Obviously, if we do run into enemies, then I want to be semi-prepared. But at the same time, it seems like a waste if I consume just, you know, like highest tier foods. Maybe the fish wraps. The fish wraps are definitely something that I've created, but then sort of left to sort of sit in the pantry for a very long time. I feel like it's also just like bedtime, so I might as well have a sleep, and maybe that might get rid of the storm for us as well. Okay, right. Oh no! Okay, those wisps, they go away very, very quickly, don't they? I'm just gonna wait a tiny bit to let the sun come up a little bit more before we head out there. And in the meantime, I'll just quickly grab some honey. Been using honey quite a bit recently. Okay. Yeah, building in the Mistlands is definitely not easy, is it? Okay. Decent. Let's just continue this way. Yeah, so I am a little bit concerned that there's this hill up here as well, so trying to defend our base from things coming in, especially those seekers, is going to be a tall order, I feel, because well, those seekers can literally fly around and just enter your base that way, especially if they decide to sort of come up this way and try and enter that route. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how well we've planned this, but my hope is that, similar to the the plains base that we have is that we might not actually have too many enemies to deal with because we've got, you know, the workbench set up, and as far as I'm concerned, enemies shouldn't really be spawning nearby, provided we've got a workbench set up in the area. Anyway, I'm sure I'm gonna see plenty of comments outlining how poor my decision has been with setting up this base, but you know what, I'm pressing on, and you guys know I'm a bit stubborn, so, you know, like, once I set my sights on something, I essentially keep going, even though it might not be the best. I'll see how far I can go. And if the base is usable, then I'm already going to be pretty happy with that, you know? Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I have no idea what this thing is. Is this just simply a rock? Because if it is, then maybe I should just get rid of it. I could potentially get rid of it. I might need all of the stone for it anyway. I mean, for the build, that is. Let's just quickly replace that. And let me just quickly grab this. I guess it's just a big old boulder. Right. Let's try to do a bit of a curve here. Alright. Keep going this way, and I'm gonna maybe curve it a little bit more very soon. Okay, so... yeah, I think we'll start curving it from here. So this is technically where the field's going to be. I feel like maybe I've made a much bigger field than what I intended. That's okay. All good. Better than not having enough, I feel. So I'm gonna curve this that away. How do I feel about that? Because I do want the home to sort of be on this side. I'm thinking we probably want to start curving a little earlier. Yeah, sorry guys. Probably maybe from here instead. I think I hear a yawl nearby. Just gonna quickly grab that and replace it down over here. And I'll move this as well. So I'll have it on this side. I actually need to eat a little bit, don't I? I mean, worst case scenario, what I'm gonna do is actually like run straight through the portal if I know that I'm in trouble. We'll eat and then we'll come back. How are we feeling about that? I think that's okay. Yeah, now just gonna curve that a little bit more. I kind of need a stamina food, don't I? Let me just quickly have a snack. We'll grab some bread or something like that, and we'll try to continue. But I think we should be able to get, at the very least, the outline of what we're looking for done. Okay. Good. Okay, we are so close. That's probably the worst part of building is with walls especially. It's like trying to connect the walls and make sure everything's as symmetrical as it can be. That's often a very difficult challenge. I might have to use some single blocks, possibly. All right, not bad. Just trying to think of whether or not there's any part that can be improved. Maybe. I'm just sort of thinking maybe we could do that. And we could do these pieces like so. And maybe we can go back to a piece like that, maybe. That might help. Does look a little bit janky, doesn't it? Why? Why is that? Okay. I think that'll have to do. I don't want to spend too much more time on it, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the outline that we've got here. I think the next episode, what I might do is actually immediately start on some crops, and that way we can sort of test out, you know, how the crops work. The difference in soil color is also a bit worrying, so I'm sort of just wanting to test the growing first, because if I can only grow in a certain space, for example, the dark colored crop, or sorry, the dark colored soil, then obviously we have a little bit more to work with when it comes to a home. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, we're gonna have to sort of squeeze in a home here. It's not going to be terribly big. And yeah, but it's still going to be a nice home anyway. I'm hoping to build something worthwhile. If we need more space, what I might consider doing is actually like maybe just making that a diagonal wall like that. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyway, I think this is the episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, leaving that like definitely helps out with the channel quite a bit. Aside from that, stay true, and I'll continue this build in the next one. Bye for now.